Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into a critical issue. It's this massive challenge facing the global economy right now, the education bottleneck.
Yeah, it's more than just crowded classrooms, isn't it?
Absolutely. We're talking about this huge, urgent need for learning that can actually scale up. High-quality learning, especially, the kind of fast reskilling needed for this new AI economy.
It really is a massive problem for the job market. I mean, technology is moving so incredibly fast.
Right.
And the institutions, governments, universities, even big companies, they just can't keep up with the knowledge needed to even operate at all.
Which creates this giant skills gap.
And it's getting wider across pretty much every industry you can think of.
Yeah, the urgency is, well, it's kind of mind-blowing. The World Economic Forum figures, what is it, over 1 billion people needing reskilling or upskilling by 2030?
1 billion people. It's an enormous number.
And 2030 isn't that far away. Plus, it's driven by basic digital literacy needs, AI, jobs just changing super fast.
And honestly, that billion figure, probably lowballing it, traditional education, the way it works now, there's just no way it has the infrastructure or the speed to handle that kind of demand.
Right. That's the bottleneck we're really trying to understand today, how to break it.
Exactly. That's the focus.
So our mission here is to unpack the details of a specific technology aimed right at this problem.
Oh.
It's from EON Reality, an internal tool they call Course Genius. And they've actually compared it to Henry Ford's assembly line, but for knowledge, which, okay, sounds like marketing hype.
It does sound a bit much at first, yeah.
Until you actually look at the numbers, the output they're claiming.
Well, the Ford analogy is pretty useful, I think. It helps frame it. Ford didn't invent the car, right?
No.
But he invented the system to mass produce it, made it affordable, accessible. Of course, Genius is aiming for something similar, but for, high quality, immersive learning.
So industrializing knowledge transfer.
That's the goal, taking it from a craft to an industry.
Okay, let's break this down. First, maybe we should ground ourselves in why the old ways failed. Before the assembly line, cars were custom, luxury items, slow to build.
Exactly.
So in education, what are the two old ways that just can't scale globally?
Right. Think of education today. It's a bit like transport back in, say, 1905. Super valuable, sure, but the best stuff. Often exclusive, slow, very limited reach.
Okay, so way number one, the traditional physical school or university.
Yeah, the first way. Physical institutions.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing there is massive fixed costs. You need buildings, expensive equipment, lots of staff.
Brick and mortar.
Right. And rolling out a new program or campus takes years, literally years. The education can be top-notch, no doubt.
Sure.
But it's inherently local. It's just too slow and way too expensive to solve a global, urgent reskilling crisis like the one we have now.
Okay. Then came the second way. This was supposed to fix all that, right?
Yeah.
Traditional online learning, MOOCs, recorded lectures, tons of PDFs.
That model did solve two big problems. Global reach, definitely, and cost, much lower cost. But it came at a huge cost to quality and, crucially, engagement. Learners just find it flat, boring, often.
Yeah, I've tried a few.
Right. It lacks that hands-on interactive element you really need to actually acquire practical skills. Watching a video isn't the same as doing it.
And the killer statistic you mentioned from the source material, the one that really sums up the failure of that second way.
The completion rates, they average less than 10%.
Wow. Less than 10%.
Yeah. So think about that. 90% of people who start these cheap, widely available online courses just give up. They drop out.
80%.
So when you're talking about needing to upskill 1 billion people, like the WEF says, a system with a 90% failure rate, it's just not going to work. It's fundamentally broken for that scale.
But hang on, let's push back a bit. Isn't that dropout rate sometimes about life getting in the way? People are busy, maybe the immediate need isn't there. It's not always just because the course is boring, is it?
Yeah.
Can this third way really fix someone's motivation?
That's a really good question. And the sources suggest, look, the third way can't magically give someone more hours in the day.
Right.
But what it can do is fundamentally change the return on the time they do invest. If the learning is actually engaging, if it feels immediately useful, if it leads to a real skill they can use, that boosts internal motivation massively.
So the flatness of the old online stuff just makes existing problems worse.
Exactly. It compounds those external pressures. The third way tries to make the learning itself compelling enough to overcome some of that.
Okay, that makes sense. So that leads us neatly into the third way of learning. This is EON Reality's answer, combining AI and extended reality XR. This is where things get really interesting, apparently. How does it fix that core engagement problem that basically killed the second way?
Well, the big shift, the fundamental change, is moving from just reading or watching passively
Like we do in most online courses.
to actively doing. The third way revolves around these XR immersive experiences. So instead of reading a manual about fixing a jet engine, you're virtually there, standing next to the engine, using simulated tools, actually practicing the steps. It turns learning into something almost as engaging as, say, a video game, but it's laser focused on real-world career skills, measurable outcomes.
And the sources also highlight that it's not just a cool 3D model. It's intelligent, right? There's this AI component, these avatars they call Brainy.
Yes, Brainy is crucial for making this scale personal. Imagine having an expert tutor available 24/7 who never gets tired or frustrated.
That'd be nice.
Right. Brainy can instantly answer your questions, explain tricky concepts in a way that matches your level of understanding, and guide you when you get stuck in the simulation. It removes that huge bottleneck of waiting hours or days for a human professor to reply to an email.
Okay, and there was also this term endless memory. What does that actually mean? How does it tailor the learning specifically to me?
So endless memory is this specialized AI layer that's constantly watching how you do, especially where you stumble in the simulations. It's not just ticking boxes like completed module.
It's watching how I fail.
Kind of, yeah. It tracks the patterns in your struggles.
Yeah.
If you keep using a virtual tool the wrong way or missing a safety check,
Okay.
the AI remembers that pattern. And then next time, it might adjust the difficulty or give you a little targeted practice just on that specific thing you struggled with. It ensures you're always improving, building on what you actually know, which helps you retain it well too.
Okay, so let's recap. We've potentially solved the quality issue, the engagement issue, using this blend of XR and personalized AI. But we still have the scale problem, the volume, even if one immersive course is amazing.
Right.
If it still takes a team of expensive XR developers, 6 to 9 months, hundreds of thousands of dollars, just to build one course.
Then we're still stuck. We
Yeah.
still can't reskill that billion people by 2030.
Exactly.
That manual, slow, expensive creation process was the final bottleneck, the missing piece in the puzzle. It kept high-quality immersive learning as a kind of luxury good.
And that's where the Ford analogy comes back in.
Yeah.
How do you mass produce these complex interactive learning environments?
Precisely. How do you industrialize it? And that's what led to Course Genius. It was designed specifically to crack that industrialization nut.
So tell us about Course Genius itself. What is it conceptually?
Okay, so Course Genius is designed purely as an internal back-end engine. Think of it like a giant automated factory floor, but for education.
Okay.
You feed it raw material textbooks, technical manuals, video lectures, existing knowledge bases, whatever you've got.
Right.
And it churns out complete, ready-to-use, multi-format learning ecosystems. It automates the whole curriculum design, the content writing, the media creation, and this is the really tricky part. It actually generates the code for the functional interactive XR simulations.
Okay, that last part seems key. It's one thing for AI to summarize a book into bullet points or a PowerPoint.
Easy enough, relatively speaking.
But turning unstructured text or video into a complex 3D environment that, follows physics rules and responds correctly when I interact with it, how does it do that so fast?
It uses highly specialized generative AI models. These aren't just general chatbots. They're trained specifically on pedagogical structures, how to teach effectively, and also on vast libraries of 3D assets.
So it knows what a specific machine looks like, or human anatomy.
Exactly. The engine maps the knowledge domain onto standard learning objectives. It finds or even generates the right 3D models needed, the engine, the heart valve, whatever it is, and then it actually scripts the interactive steps within the virtual lab. It's basically doing the work of a whole team, instructional designers, 3D artists, programmers, but almost instantly.
Right. That leap from that slow, manual, 6 to 9 month process for one course
Yeah.
to this automated factory. That's the industrial scale part. So let's get to the numbers. What's the actual comparison? How fast is it?
The difference is, well, it's almost hard to grasp. The old way, 6 to 9 months of intense human work for one good immersive course, Course Genius. It can generate somewhere between 9,000 and 10,000 complete, ready-to-deploy immersive courses in a single weekend.
9 to 10,000.
1,000, yes, in a weekend.
So you're going from months per course to
What?
minutes?
Effectively, yes. The production time collapses from hundreds of workdays down to just minutes per course once the system is running.
Okay. That kind of speed immediately makes me, and probably any educator listening, ask, what about quality? Does cranking things out that fast mean you sacrifice rigor? Is it just churning out junk? What does one of these auto-generated courses actually contain?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? And the output is designed to be a full, robust package ready for institutional use. Each course includes like over 150 pages of structured text content chapters, lessons, the
Maybe
works.
standard stuff.
But the quality markers go deeper. Each course gets its own dedicated, customized Brainy AI avatar. And critically, that Brainy is trained only on the specific material in that single course.
Ah, so it's not just a generic chat GPT answering questions. If the course is on, say, advanced welding techniques.
The Brainy for that course is a welding expert, specifically drawing from that course's content. It ensures deep, relevant knowledge for the tutor.
Got it. What else?
Well, the engine also auto-generates all the supporting stuff schools or companies might need, PDFs, PowerPoints, even audio transcripts or podcasts based on the content. And even things like press releases announcing the new course.
Huh. Covers all the bases.
And the most important part for the actual learning, roughly 1 hour of fully functional XR immersive simulations is generated per course. These aren't just demos, they're interactive practice labs.
1 hour of XR sim per course generated automatically.
Yeah. And these courses are built ready for global deployment. They work on the web, on mobile, on proper XR headsets, and they're designed from the ground up to align with international industry standards.
Okay, so now we have potentially tens of thousands of these courses being churned out by Course Genius. Where do they actually go? How does a student or a company or a government get access to them?
Right, so the courses generated by this back-end engine feed into two main front-end platforms. First, for the individual learner, there's something called Virtual Compass.
Virtual Compass, okay.
Think of this as your personalized learning dashboard or guide. The key is that personalization. You start, Brainy assesses what you already know, asks about your career goals,
Right.
and then it plots out a specific path for you, guiding you through a sequence of these generated courses and the XR labs within them, tailored exactly to fill your skill gaps and meet your objectives. It's like your personal AI learning roadmap.
Okay, that's the individual side.
Yeah.
What about for institutions like a university or a big company?
For them, there's the XR Library Premium. This is essentially the massive global warehouse holding all these ready-made immersive courses.
The inventory.
Exactly. Governments, corporations, educational institutions, they can license access to this huge, constantly growing library. Because Course Genius keeps adding new courses and updating existing ones, the library stays current. So, Virtual Compass is the personalized journey. XR Library Premium is the massive, always updated inventory they draw from.
Makes sense. Now, automating content creation at this scale, and especially when you're talking about potentially high-risk training like medical procedures or operating heavy machinery, that brings up huge questions about trust and integrity.
Absolutely critical.
If an AI writes the course and builds the simulation, how do you guarantee the information is accurate? How do you stop AI hallucinations in areas where mistakes could be disastrous? And how do you make sure the certificate someone gets at the end actually means they learned something and didn't just, cheat the system?
Yeah, they seem very aware of that challenge. It's addressed directly through something called the EON Integrity Suite.
Okay.
Its main job is secure, cheat-proof certification. They know that if these courses are meant to lead to real jobs, the verification has to be rock solid. On the hallucination front, the idea is that Course Genius is designed to heavily prioritize structured, verified source data. It cross-references its outputs against established standards and checklists before a course goes live.
And proving mastery. How is the certificate different from just, passing a multiple-choice quiz?
That's where the XR labs come in again. The certificates aren't based just on recall. They demonstrate mastery based on your actual performance in those hands-on immersive simulations.
Ah, so it tracks what you did.
Precisely. Did you follow the safety procedures correctly? Did you complete the task efficiently? Did you use the tools properly? The system assesses your actions within the virtual environment. That performance data, combined with alignment to recognized international industry standards, is what gives the certificate its weight. It shows you can do the skill, not just read about it.
Okay. This whole shift feels bigger than just a new educational tool. The source material really pushes this idea, framing it as potentially bigger than the Model T. Not just changing how we move, but fundamentally changing how we learn and acquire skills for the economy.
That definitely seems to be their long-term ambition. They're building towards that kind of fundamental shift. So this month, apparently, they're launching the first big batches of these generic courses made by Course Genius.
The first wave.
Right. But the next step on their roadmap is all about hyper-customization. Tailoring content for specific regions, integrating local languages properly, aligning training with the very specific needs and regulations of, say, the U.S. Department of Labor versus a German engineering firm.
So adapting the mass production to specific local needs.
Exactly. The ultimate vision seems to be for Course Genius to become this kind of invisible global backbone for knowledge production, the quiet engine powering learning everywhere,
Transforming knowledge creation from this slow, craft-based process.
into something almost instantaneous, an industrial process, but for skills and knowledge, scalable and adaptable.
So, okay, we'd probably wrap up. We want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to chew on, something that builds on all this.
Right.
If knowledge production really does shift, if it goes from taking humans 6 or 9 months to create a deep course down to just minutes for an AI,
Yeah,
the barrier to creating knowledge content basically vanishes.
it really does.
So what are the new challenges then? What does expertise even mean when anyone can generate a course on anything? And how do we possibly keep curriculum relevant and trustworthy when the volume of instantly generated teaching material could dwarf everything that came before? That's something for you to think about.